Hey guys, you've been asking for another Q&A. You guys have been telling me there's questions you've been wanting to ask me. And so here we go. Another edition of a Q&A answering your questions. There are some other PrepOn Kitchen products in the works. I'm not allowed to talk about them yet. So to be continued, and thank you for asking, because all my products mean so much to me, and I developed them because they're solutions to problems that I faced in the kitchen, and I just love that you guys are getting so much out of it, so thank you. What I would say is, for me, I just from years of cooking in the kitchen, and because I've been doing it since I was so young, I have a very specific point of view on how I cook and how I feed my family and how I'm able to get delicious homemade meals on the table. And we talk about this a lot, on my channel and on my different videos, that I use preparation to help me get homemade meals on the table, and that it helps me get ahead. It helps me be able to do it when I come home from a long day of work and I'm tired and, I'm cooking for a family of four. So my point of view of food has just naturally come out of my life and being a working mom. And I've also been cooking like that for myself since I was a teenager. So it's just so part of who I am. And I can just tell you from talking about that to other people, I found that specifically when I started, getting into my product line, people really loved that I had such a specific point of view. So given that, different people that I've talked to about my products, and even now that my product line has launched and that I'm continuing to make products, I would say really figure out what you want to say. Figure out what your point of view is, what your angle is, for lack of a better word. I don't consider what I do an angle. It's just how I look at food and how I get food on the table. I also love to cook, and the way that I do it is, I love it. So I just think, hopefully we're going to be doing this for a while, right? So your point of view on food should be something that is true to you and that you love doing, because that will also just come through when you're talking about it. So I would say figure out what you love about it, what you love about your specific product, and always stay true to your mission, like why you want to do it and your why. And that is something that I found really helps me. I've also been talking to a lot of other entrepreneurs and listening to a lot of entrepreneurial things, reading books, podcasts, and I love kind of getting like the common denominators across the board. One of those common denominators is you just have to try to always stick to your original mission and message of why do you want to do it, and then just kind of staying true to that why. That kind of helps navigate, because it gets very confusing and hard and tough, and there's going to be like ups and downs along the way. So if you kind of really hang on to that why, it just kind of helps you cruise through that. So I would just say to really kind of figure out what you want to say, and that's going to be only you, so there's only one you. So really figure out what that is, and so we can all learn it too. I'm a sticky note person. So when I have different kinds of ideas or reminders, because I have so much stuff going on, being a working mom and juggling career and kids and family and all this stuff, I'm all about sticky note, and I also write notes on my phone, of course, too. But I've been a sticky note person for a while. So my office is covered in sticky notes. It's kind of funny. My husband makes fun of me for it, and it's funny. But then he started doing it too. So what's funny is that I have sticky notes from years ago, like at least 10 years ago, on ideas for products. And well before even my first cookbook came out in 2016. And these are all different ideas that I've actually had for a pretty long time, because I've been cooking for so many years, and because, as I've described, a lot of my products are solutions to problems I've faced in the kitchen. I've been thinking of different iterations of them for years. And I have little sticky notes of like arm attached to a board. You know what I mean? Like all these different kinds of things. So for a while, this isn't something that was just like, I want to do a product line and it happened. It was years of, ruminating and thinking about it and honing ideas. And then I remember when I did my first pitch for PrepOn Kitchen, I went into a conference room with an entire bag of, I had a cutting board, I had PrepOn Kitchen hadn't been sold yet. These were all my ideas. And I walked in with this huge tote bag filled with products that didn't work in my kitchen. And I put up a cutting board and I tucked a bag underneath the board. And I did this whole presentation. I did an entire presentation in a conference room. And that was my first like this is PrepOn Kitchen, and it went really well, and that kind of started it. But I went in, I had a whole situation, and I brought products in, and I was like, this is why they don't work, and this is why I want to do this cutting board with the attached arm with the bag and the whole thing. This is why I want to do this kind of knife, the Santoku blade, and I showed like how chef's knives sometimes fail me in the kitchen because everything slips over the top or it's not a big enough surface space, like all these different reasons. And I remember going into my first real pitch for my product line. It was and the presentation was great because it worked. It was my first big step to getting my product line out into the world. It was really great, actually. But yeah, you guys, this has been, years in the making for sure.